welcome to the These Little Hands podcast. My name is Millicent and I'm coming to you from Johannesburg, South Africa. It is a Saturday morning. I'm not sure what the date is. I think it is the 23rd, 20-something of September, 24th of September. And this is a podcast about knitting, sewing and other crafty things. If you are a new viewer, thank you so much for checking out my podcast. And if you're a returning viewer, I really appreciate it. I love sharing my projects. I love being inspired by what other people are doing. You are welcome to contact me on Instagram. And there's also a Ravelry group for this podcast where I post all the show notes and all the information. And yes, today I will be sharing some knitting with you, but only a little bit, and a lot of sewing, which is very new for me. I very rarely sew more than I knit. It just happened, I don't know. And I will be sharing some of my favorite things. And I will also have a small segment, a new segment, that is called When Disaster Strikes. So I will be talking about that a little bit later. But let's get into the knitting. Okay, so for the knitting, I don't have any finished objects, and everything I'm going to show you've seen before. So I finished, as you know, if you've watched before. For those of you who are new, this is my Yonkuli sweater by Martin Story. It's a cropped cardigan. That's the back, and I finished the front. This was quite a challenge because for these hearts, you increase quite a lot of stitches, but the increases aren't taken into account when they explain to you aren't taken into account in the stitch count when they explain to you how to do the neck edge, if that makes sense. So you have to do the math to figure out how many stitches there has to be. So that was quite a challenge. Luckily, everything went well, but I did go slowly. So that's why this is taking me so long. But I've also started the sleeves. I'm knitting them 2 at a time. I don't always knit 2 at a time, but if it's very plain, then I do. So I've started the decreases on the sleeve. So I'll hopefully be able to finish this over the weekend. I'm a little bit afraid that I'm going to run out of yarn because this is what I have left. I will be able to finish the sleeves, but I still have to do the neck band. So I might have to double check my stash to see if I didn't miss a ball. Otherwise, I will have to go to the store and get another ball of yarn for that. So that's this one. I really want to take it with me on holiday. I'm going on holiday next week. So I'm hoping to finish that. And the other one that I showed you last time, and for everybody that's new, this is my regatta sweater. I finished the back. So it's also a little bit cropped, but I'm quite short, so it looks more cropped than it is. I love the colors. This is knit out of Nurturing Fibers Eco Cotton, which is a South African yarn. And this bottom one is Wine Barrel. This purple one is a once off colorway, so it doesn't have a name. And this one is Seashell. You can buy this yarn online at Natural Yarns and a few other yarn stores as well. Yeah, so that is what I've been knitting. I've also worked on my Shockwaves wrap, but you won't really be able to see because it's just plain. So I will show that to you again when it's finished. But that's all. It's not all. I mean, the Yonkuli sweater was quite a lot of work, but that is what I've been doing in terms of knitting. I have wound up some skeins and prepared for a new project in order to motivate myself to finish these. But there's nothing else in terms of the knitting that I've been working on. So hopefully all of these will be finished by the next episode. I'm quite good at keeping my details on Ravelry for the project. So if you want to have more information about the yarn and all of that, you can just look at my profile on Ravelry. Let's talk about sewing. Okay, so that video is from my visit when I was in Cape Town. I took quite a few videos that I shared in my previous podcast, but there are still some left. So that was a very nice store my cousin and I visited. I think there's enough of the clip to add some more in here, but obviously it doesn't have anything to do with sewing. So the sewing, I'm not sure how I'm going to show you this. My mother told me I have to wear the clothes that I show you, but it's a little bit awkward to show off sewing, so we will see how this goes. So the first one I'm wearing, I'm sorry it's so wrinkled, it hasn't been washed yet, I just finished it this week. This doesn't have a pattern because this was self-drafted, and this is fabric that I received from my aunt a long time ago. So it's been in my stash for a long time and I didn't know what to do with it. So I'm going to stand up. I did share this on Instagram. So it is a top and a skirt. So the skirt has a high waist and a fake button stand with pockets. I added, this was a gift that I received from one of my best friends. She lives, we don't live in the same town anymore, and she sent me a wonderful parcel with lace in. So it's just a boxy shape. I wanted it to be quite loose. It has a facing, all-in-one facing inside, and it has a zip at the back. And what I did for ease of wearing is the zip zips down from the top down instead of from the bottom up, because it's quite difficult to do that yourself. So it zips down like that. The skirt is just plain at the back. I'll stand back a little bit. Yes, so I like the idea of having separates because I can wear the skirt with a different top and the top with a different skirt, but it still looks like one thing. It has pleats here. I'm not sure what else to tell you about it. The button stand is fake, and the front slit is also fake. I barely made it out with the fabric. So, but yes, I really like it. I made this specifically to wear to one of my friends' parties, and I loved how it turned out. It is a stretch fabric, so it's quite comfortable. And yes, that is it. Okay, I'm back with sewing number 2. This one I shared briefly last time because it was almost finished. So this is also a pattern that I self-drafted in my sewing class. This is fabric I had in my stash for a long time that I also really like. I don't know how to explain it. It's sort of silky. It reminds me of India, but it has a boat neck and cap sleeves, and it has a little trim here. It has a side zip, and I wear it with a belt and a full pleated skirt. So if I stand back, I'm just going to take this chair completely away. So if I stand back, you can just see it's just this loose skirt. It has a scoop neck at the back. Yeah, a scoop back. Yes. So I really like how it's quite loose fitting. You can see if I take it off, it's quite loose, which I really like. So it's very comfortable. And yes, I really like it. Okay, so this is the next, it's 2 that I'm going to show you. I think of everything I made, this is my favorite. I love this fabric. It is a cashmere type fabric. So this I used a pattern for. So I made a top from this Simplicity Vintage pattern, and it is view C. C there. The pattern, the top has pleats on the pattern, but I omitted that because I wanted it to have a boxy shape. So it's just a round neck, and on the sleeves, see if I can show this to you. On the sleeves there are buttons here. So it has a neck, it has a facing on the inside, and it has button loops there and on the other side. So it is quite a boxy shape. If I take it out quickly, so I can wear it just like that, and then it is completely plain, and I can wear it with a jean, and it's so comfortable. It's a really, and it has grown on sleeve, so you don't have to set in a sleeve. I would definitely suggest this pattern for a beginner because it's just the front and the back and the facing that you have to do. And then I made a matching skirt out of the same fabric, and for the skirt, sorry, let me just fix myself up again. For the skirt, I used a pattern as well. The pattern is Berda 7132, and it is view C. So this skirt, maybe if I show you here, has quite a nice pleat at the front. Okay, so I made quite a few changes to the skirt pattern. I'll show you just now. I need to repress the skirt because the pleats aren't sitting nicely. So now I have to fix myself up again. Okay. So, yeah, you see I have to iron it here so that it stays nice and flat. But it is quite nice. What I did here at the top is I didn't do a facing. I put biased binding over there. I think what I'll do is I'm going to take this off, and then I'll show you the detail on the skirt because it's going to be very challenging to show you this way. So, but yes, so again, I can wear it like this. It's quite a modern silhouette, but I really like the print. The fabric is very soft, so I really like it. And then, as I say, I can wear it separately or together. Together, it's a little bit more formal, and it looks like a set. And if I wear it separately, it can be more casual. So, yes, I'm quickly going to change again for my last one, and then I'll show you the detail of the skirt. Okay, so as I said, it's a little bit awkward showing off the sewing, but I see that on all the sewing vlogs, that is just the way it is. So your face is cut off when you want to see this, if you want to explain what you did in terms of the sewing. So let me show you quickly the detail of the skirt. So as I said, I need to repress these pleats. I didn't press them correctly, so the fit looks a little bit funny, but yes, so this is the skirt. It has a, I keep forgetting what this is called, the thing at the back, so to make it more comfortable. But what I did is I have this beautiful bias binding of cotton fabric, and I added this to the top. So I didn't insert a facing because I didn't want to take away from the softness of the fabric. And then what I did at the back is I didn't have a zip that matched the fabric, and I'm really trying to use only stash. So I decided to insert an exposed zip, which is a new technique that I learned, and I did that. And what I did with the bias binding is I extended it at the back so that you can tie a little bow at the back. So yes, so that is what it looks like at the back, and I really like it. Yes, so that is that one. And then the last one I have to show you is the one that I'm wearing. I actually have to probably wear a strapless one, but I'm not going to change everything now. So this is from a Simplicity pattern, Cynthia Rowley for Simplicity, number 1105, and I made view C. So I'm happy with this. This is definitely a casual wear, and what I want to say is if you want to make this, just beware that the top is really cropped because I am short and I already added about 4 centimeters to the pattern because I saw it was going to be short, and it's still quite cropped. So just so that you know, if you make it and you don't want your tummy to be exposed, just make it long enough. So this is the top. It's very loose, and I made it for our holiday that we're going on. I did make a mistake, which is not, it's not the end of the world, but I was supposed to add bias binding around the edges. So you can see it comes in a little bit too much. If I adjusted the bias binding, I wouldn't have had that problem. But yeah, so there's bias binding here at the top, and again, if I stand back, so you can see it is not long at all because these pants are high-waisted and it just covers my pants. But what I really like about it is that it is so flowy and it has a bow at the back. What I would say is really nice about this top is it does cover your bra strap. So you don't have to worry about that. So yes, I really like it. I can't wait to wear it. It's very comfortable and flowy. I have another fabric that I want to make another one out of. But I'm going to make it a little bit longer because yes, it is a little bit too short for me. But yes, so that is what I did in terms of sewing. There's one more thing that I want to show you. Okay, I seem to have misplaced the other thing I wanted to show you, but I made a slip to wear underneath some of the clothes. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but a lot of times when I buy a dress in the store or a skirt, it's basically see-through and I feel like I have to wear something underneath. So I wanted to make a slip for myself, but also I wanted to practice working with stretch fabrics and lace and all of that for an upcoming project that I haven't received my things yet. It takes quite a long time for things to get to South Africa if you order them online, so I don't want to share it beforehand, but I will keep you up to date on that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm quickly just going to share going into the last few things. I want to share some of my favorite things with you. I'm just going to share 2 things. I wanted to show you a long time ago. So in May, I took part in a knit-along hosted by the Knitting Broomstick, and I actually won. It was a Jane Austen-inspired knit-along, and I won this tote bag, and I received it almost 2 months after because it just takes so long. But yes, I really love it. And I just wanted to thank Jilly from the Knitting Broomstick for sending that to me, and I was so surprised. I also am participating in the sweater along that she's hosting, and I also won part of that gal, so I have a prize on its way to me from her again, so that's quite exciting. The other thing I wanted to show you is a fabric that I've received from one of my very good friends. It is fabric, they call it, it's wax print fabric. It's very popular in Africa. This is from the Ivory Coast. And look at this beautiful print. So I will hopefully be making something out of this soon, and then I will be sharing that with you. So this is what I'm probably going to make a wrap skirt out of this. But isn't it great? Yes. So this is my upcoming project, hopefully for this weekend. The wrap skirt is quite quick, but I'm going to focus on finishing that knitting sweater first. And then I told you that I'm going to talk about a new segment called When Disaster Strikes. Okay, so I really hope that this is not going to be a segment that returns to this podcast very often. But I thought I will share that not everything always goes smoothly. And I also want to say that I know it could have been a lot worse, and that this is a little bit first world problems. But let me show you what I want to show you. So this is my beautiful void shawl. So you will see that if you've washed before, that it looks a little bit different than the last time you saw it. If you haven't washed before, it is not supposed to have these brown areas on it. So what, you may ask, happened? So as I say, it could have been a lot worse. So when I was in Cape Town, the lady that cleans my house comes in on a Monday, and my cupboard is quite nicely set up. So when you open the door, there's a mirror, and there's also a plug where my hairdryer is. And by accident, she switched on my hairdryer. I'm not sure how it happened, but it was on the whole day. So she comes in about at 8 in the morning, and it takes her about 2 hours, maybe less, to clean my flat. And as I say, I wasn't here. And in that evening, my boyfriend came to my flat to just make sure my dog was okay and everything was okay. But this was about 8 o'clock in the evening. So by that time, many hours have passed, and he heard something. And when he opened my cupboard, my hairdryer was on, and everything smelled like it was burning. So as I say, my whole house could have burned down. So that is definitely could have been worse. But when I came back from Cape Town, I quickly assessed the damage, and it didn't really look like anything happened, which was great. But last weekend, I rearranged my cupboard, so I switched over my winter clothes and my summer clothes, and I keep my shawls in that cupboard. And when I took out my void shawl, I saw this. So it is burned, which is the only thing that got damaged, but still, it is my beautiful void shawl. So I'm going to keep you updated. I phoned around, and I found Carla at Nurturing Fibers, which is a local yarn dyer, and she told me that this is superwash merino 100%, so I would be able to over dye this shawl. So what I want to ask you guys is, I was thinking of dyeing it black, but I don't think the yarn is going to take on these burnt fibers. So do you think I should go for the black, or do you think I should dye it dark brown and see if it works out? So yes, if you have any tips for me of how to go about doing this, I've never dyed it before. I've never dyed anything before, but I would like to rescue it because it was a lot of work. But anyway, I wanted to share with you that not everything always goes smoothly, but maybe we can share some tips and help each other out and share the disasters that has happened to you. If you have any tips for me, please share it. I would love some input. I'm still in shock, but I definitely want to rescue it. Luckily, it's summer now, so I have the whole summer until next year, winter, to calm down and to figure out how it happened. As I say, I know it was an accident, but yes, if you have any tips for me, please help me out. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much for checking in with me. I really appreciate it. Please join the Ravelry group if you haven't already. Subscribe to the video if you want to, and I will join you again in about 2 to 3 weeks' time. Bye.